Today is Momentum Monday. I'm going to share this information with you, and then we're going to take this challenge together. I am going to show you how to reach your audience. But before you think this is just a business video, I want you to understand something. Your audience in your business is the people that you're marketing to, the people you're trying to attract to your product, to your classes, to your coaching, whatever it is that you do. But your audience in your personal life is a relationship. It might be a relationship with your spouse. It might be a relationship with your child. It might be a relationship with someone in your church, your friends, your family, people who you meet randomly. So what I want you to understand is your audience is the people that you have a relationship with. It's a relationship. So I'm just going to call it a relationship, but it applies to business. It applies to your personal life. It applies to your mindset and how you think about things, your perspective. I think it's time we really start understanding the people that we are in relationships with. If we will learn how to do this, our relationships will grow and they will become more full of love, more full of joy. What will happen in our businesses is we will attract more customers. Our marketing will hit the nail on the head. Let me tell you what I'm seeing right now. What is happening is that people are getting to know someone in a relationship and they think they know them. They've been studying this person. Let's say my spouse, we've been married for years and years. We've been married so long, I feel like I really know him. What about the people I'm marketing to online? I feel like I know them. I've spent hours, hundreds of hours probably, trying to figure out who my audience is. And so I'm trying to find out more about their basic information, their age, the demographics. And in our personal relationships, we usually already know those things. But what about psychographics? Then we start trying to figure out, okay, what do they feel? What do they value? What are their interests and hobbies? What are the things, what information do they like to consume? Now, if I'm trying to work on my relationship with my husband, then I might ask him questions about those things. A lot of those things we've already talked about. We've talked about more than once. Some of those things, it seems like we've talked about hundreds of times. So what happens? I think I know him. Oh, I know what he's going to say. I know what he's going to think. We tend to do that in our business as well. We do that with the audience that we're trying to market to, the people that we think are like our avatar. People call it their avatar and they call it mine. And guess why we do that? Because we think, well, I know them. Those are my people. I remember I went to this huge conference. Tons and tons of thousands of people were there. And as I heard the interactions, that as I would talk to people, as I would see their responses to the education that was being given, their responses to me as we interacted, I seriously felt like, oh, these are my people. I found my people. Notice how we make it the possessive. It's mine. It's because we feel like we know them. I'm saying they're my people because I think, oh, they're like me. But to think that we really know them that well, it's a little bit arrogant. I want you to think about something. The things that you know about someone. You feel like, wow, I know them. We're close. I understand this person. So when you think of a relationship, I don't care if it's a personal relationship or the audience that you are trying to attract to your business, I want you to realize that no matter how many hours you've spent on learning about that person, it is this much of who they really are. It's like seeing an iceberg. You see the iceberg and you see the tip of the iceberg and it's coming out of the ocean and it might even look kind of big. And you're thinking, wow, look at that. I know what's there. I see this thing. But what you're seeing is actually this much of who they really are. Even if you think you know them, even my spouse who I've been with for so many years, we still have conversations where I think I know what he's going to say. I think I know what he's thinking. But because I've learned to try to be curious, try to find out more about what he thinks and what he feels, I ask a lot more questions and I'm still shocked. I'm surprised. Something that I think I knew he was going to feel. And he'll say, no, it's not really that. It's more like this. So I want you to realize that these people who you think you know really well, if you will be humble enough and open enough to keep asking questions, have it be a consistent thing that you are constantly trying to find out more about them and realizing that there is so much underneath. If you were to look under the water at the iceberg, what would you see underneath? It is massive and it goes all the way down to the ocean floor. It is huge. There is so much more to that person than you thought you knew. And if we're talking about someone like my spouse, who I've known for so many years, what is that like in relationships that we don't have as much interaction, or audiences that we are trying to interact with for our business? This is a huge ordeal. So what I want you to do is I want you to change your perspective and not be thinking, I understand my audience and I know my audience. I want you to have this feeling of confidence that you care about them, that you do know a lot of things about them, but that you will never, ever stop trying to learn more about what they need, what their pains are, what they feel, what they think. I want you to take that information and recognize all the hard work you've done to be able to be aware of that, to have created the relationship that you have. But don't ever lose sight of the fact that there is this huge rest of the iceberg underneath. There is so much more to learn about this person. You will never, ever get tired of learning more about them and getting to know them better. And it will strengthen your relationships. It will attract people to you, whether it is your family or it is people in your business. And you will create relationships that are stronger and more powerful than you have before. And your business will grow, and you will find that your relationships in your personal life and your business bring you so much more joy. I have a lot of relationships. I know people from all over the world, and I've done business with many, many people. And people who know me pretty well, they know that I like to be healthy. I like to use natural products as much as I can. I'll use things that aren't totally natural, but I like to try to find really good products that are natural and really err on that side. So some people, if they think they know me so well, they might assume that, I'm not as interested in doctors, or I'm not as interested in like what the medical field can offer me. Let me tell you this. I had a time in my life where I had a really scary situation. I had a medical test and they discovered that I had cancer. I had breast cancer, and they didn't know how serious it was. And when they went in to do the lumpectomy, they discovered that there was a lot more in there. And you were out under the knife, so we needed your permission to extract more, because then it becomes a mastectomy, and we couldn't do it without your permission. So I come out from that situation, and it was very scary because we didn't know yet how bad it was. We didn't know exactly what the prognosis was. They had to go in and find out more information. And I will just tell you, going through those experiences, I ended up needing a cancer surgeon, an oncologist. I needed a plastic surgeon. I needed my skin started dying, and they needed to send me to a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. So I needed the technicians who knew how to run the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. I could go on and on and on. There was a list of probably 10 or 20 different types of doctors and technicians and physicians and nurses that I needed to help me get well again. And I will tell you this, as I went through that process, I could not believe the gratitude I felt. Of course, I felt gratitude, but the thing that kept coming to my mind, and my husband's a dentist, so he went through years of dental school, that side of the medical field, and I saw what he went through. I saw the sacrifices he made. I saw the hours. I saw the crazy study. I saw the testing. I saw all the stress and the headaches and the heartaches from going through all of that schooling, just so he could help people with their teeth. So as I was living this process, I'm looking at each of these individual doctors and all these appointments I had to go to, and I could not stop feeling like, I cannot believe the hours and hours and years of their life that they sacrificed so that they could help me when I got sick. And I am so grateful for doctors. You guys, the first business I built is a $1 billion business, and it is built on natural products, using natural products so that you don't have to put chemicals and other things into your body, so that you can take care of your health, take charge of your health without having to rely on as many medical professionals. Of course, you do it in conjunction with your doctors, but this is my business. And yet here I love doctors, and I am so grateful for them. Well, people who are just trying to find out some of the little pieces of me, or they think they really know me, they're not going to know all the deeper pieces inside of me, what I feel, what I think, what I believe about every little thing. If you really want a powerful relationship with your spouse, you really want to change your relationship for the better, you really want to attract your audience and double your business in a significantly short period of time, then start really getting to know your audience and don't assume that you already know them. In fact, don't even assume how much you know them. Just assume I have a lot to learn. There's a lot I don't know about them, and I am going to make it my life's mission to discover as much as I can about this person that I care about, whether it's because I want a better relationship with someone I love, or because I'm trying to serve the people in my business or grow my business for whatever reason. So I'm excited about this challenge this week. Take this challenge with me. Pick something that you can do with some relationship that you have, whether it's business or personal. Every time you engage with that person, every time you are involved in that part of the project or the relationship or that conversation, I want you to think, I'm going to do this every single time. And I'll tell you what mine is going to be. Mine is going to be that I am going to ask more questions. I'm going to be curious. I really want to be curious. And when they say something, I don't want to just assume, oh, yeah, I know what you're going to say. I know what you mean. I know what the end of the sentence is going to be. So that's going to be mine. What's yours? So don't ever forget who you are and what you can become as you make these changes in your life. Don't just think different, be different.